What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to talk some gaming today, people. Today, I'm going to be bringing you my Fallen Volcanic deck profile. This is the deck I used in yesterday's showdown. Also, the same decks I used in locals last Thursday and got first place with. So, yeah, if you were all interested in my deck list, and yeah, I figured I'd just go over it today. So, without further ado, I'm just going to jump right into it. We're playing the skill Rise of the Fallen. If you don't know what this skill does, you can special summon a level 4 lower fairy monster from your graveyard in defense mode. You gain life points equal to its attack. So, comboing this with Zolga is really nice because Zolga also has this effect whenever it's tributed, you gain 2,000 life points. So, we end up tribute summoning it for our Jinzos, and in turn, we gain a total of 3,700 life points, putting us at 8,000. 7,700, I think is the math there. So, yeah, going over the main deck and everything, it's the Volcanic package like we talked about earlier. So, 3 Rocket, 3 Shell, 2 Accelerator, 1 Wildfire. I think this is all correct. The reason we play 2 Accelerators is because Rocket can get it from both hand and, or deck and graveyard. So, we don't need more than 2 copies of this card, just in case it gets Cosmic Cyclone, you know? And then, yeah, we play the triple shell in the main deck as well, just because getting it is really nice. Zolga is in here as well as Foolish Burial. Now, if you end up using the Foolish Burial into Zolga and drawing into the other one later, you can actually use it onto the shell, right? And then once you Foolish Burial the shell, you can use the shell effect, pay 500 life points, grab another one, and then with Blaze Accelerator on the field, or say you have Rocket in hand, you can then, you know, utilize the Accelerator to use life with. Also, all the payments that you do of Volcanic Shell and Wildfire doesn't necessarily matter in this deck because you're getting life points off of Zolga. So that's like the big thing about this deck. The whole reason why you want to be doing it is because you won't ever run out of life points or be in a really weird situation because of that. Again, we're playing 2 Jinzo just for the Zolga in this deck. It shuts down trap cards. It's very good. 3 DD Warrior Lady. I really like this card in this deck a lot. It's again a meta-defining card, so we're playing at 3. And the best meta-defining card in the format, Summon Spirit, is also played at 3 in this deck. Special summonable monster can put aggro onto your opponent when need be used for a tribute for your Jinzo if you absolutely have to. It's just a really nice card to have. The side deck is 2 Sphere Karibo. This is in here for the Spellproof Armor. And then 2 Floodgate Trap Hole. This is in here for the Cyber Angels, and then also Spellproof Armor. So we actually just sided 4. We take out our Blaze Accelerators, our Wildfires, and then I was taking out a Volcanic Shell as well for it. Because Shell can't really do much in the deck, and these cards all can. So at that point, you only have 1 shell, and 1 shell once it goes to the graveyard gets the other one out. So you're not going to be breaking as often on small cards like that. And then Defusion is also in this deck. We're playing it in the side at 2 because Dragoon is a scary monster. And then we got our XYZs, you know, Waking the Dragon Bluff. Yeah, but without further ado, I'm going to show you the showcase. So we played in a showdown for, you know, Rook's little showdowns he does every Monday at 8 p.m. EST. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I finally made it past round 1, so that was pretty cool. Definitely was really nice. But yeah, the decks we ended up playing against first is actually the Trap Monster deck, and he has Exile Force, Book, Floodgate, Dust in his hand, so he has a pretty good start. I go for the Foolish, sending the Zolga to the graveyard right away, summoning the Rocket to get the Blaze Accelerator, and then at this point I just pass turn. I don't want to play the Accelerator yet because I don't know if he's on Cosmic or not, so I don't want that to get banished straight away, just to get that draw into the shell. So he uses the Exile Force, just gets the Rocket right out of the way, sets the Zoma, sets the Tornado, and then sets the Book of Moon face down. So I see he's on Guardians of the Tomb, so I'm expecting only trap cards. I go ahead, I just use my skill, gain my life points, tribute my monster, gain my life points, summon the Jinzo, and hope that that helps me out here. So, yeah, he goes ahead, and, you know, once I go into battle, he's going to Book of Moon my attack. We set the Blaze Accelerator there as a bluff just in case. But yeah, the Book of Moon just kind of hexes us up there. And then, yeah, using the Zoma here, he gets to summon to the field in defense position. And then pass the turn off to the opponent who draws into a Dust Tornado. Oh yeah, he also got a skill there, so that's why he drew twice. Every time he summons a Trap Monster and has no cards in hand, he gets to draw and then set a card from hand. Entering the battle phase, he just clears the Jinzo here. And then passes turn off to me, draw into the shell. Set the Warrior Lady, sets the Book of Moon, battle phases again into the Warrior Lady. I'm able to banish off the, what is it? The Zoma, drawing for turn, drawing into another shell, which is unfortunate that I'm breaking like this right now, especially because we used it for the bluff earlier. No matter what, it didn't matter that much because like Dust Tornado was going to eat up the accelerator no matter what, but the embodiment of Anubis is a really interesting one in this deck. Drawing for turn, drawing into the Blaze Accelerator again, passing turn. Anubis comes to the field in defense mode. They draw into the Zoma, set the Zoma, pass turn off to me. I use the Blaze Accelerator, it gets Dust Tornadoed. At this point, I just pass turn, because I'm scared of the book at this point. I can summon this, but this can climb over the, or any trap monster can climb over the Jinzo, so I'm trying to get it to where I don't have to be as aggro. So I set my Zoma the Spirit, he summons his Zoma the Spirit, has the Floodgate, has the book, draws for turn to the Dust, moves the main phase, battle phases into the DD Warrior Lady, to which I banish off both targets, and then Embodiment of Amphios takes D16 out of me. I draw for turn, drawing into the Zoma, use my Zoma here to summon it in defense mode. Dust Tornado gets activated here, which is fine. And then Zoma gets sent to the graveyard. I set 2 cards face down and pass my turn off to the opponent, who draws into the Warrior Lady, sets the Floodgate Trap Hole, and then battles into the Volcanic Shell. Shell will go to graveyard, and then Amphios will attack directly for 16. Dropping us down to 45. We're going to Zoma here, draw for turn to the Foolish Burial, use the effective shell here, and then pay 500, grabbing another shell. We're now back to 4,000 to 4,000. But yeah, setting the Foolish, I just go into the battle here, attack into the Amphios. Again, I'm almost certain that there's a book face down, so I'm not trying to summon this Jinzo. And then passing turn off to the opponent. Using the book here, it's going to flip my Zoma face down into my Spell and Trap card zone. I'm going to take another 1,500 here, and the turn's going to get passed off to me. The book was used here, so I should be using the Zoma here, but I didn't, which is odd of me not to do. I don't know why I wasn't doing it. I didn't because of the Warrior Lady, that makes sense. Immediately having the out would hurt. Reinforcements grabbing another Warrior Lady, summoning the Warrior Lady. I take the 15, Warrior Lady attacks, I use the Zoma, Warrior Lady banishes, and then he Book of Moons it, and then it just swings for game. So, moving on to game 2. We're against the Millennium Eye deck, so we show our opponent our hand, and he tells us to keep it. I also don't like when people do this. Zoma's Olga Shell Rocket, and in tournament setting, you're not allowed to have notes. So I saw this, and I was like, yeah, okay. And so, yeah. But oh well. So is the Warrior Lady. I'm not going to make big deals out of nothing. Sets the face down Dust Tornado, and then sets the Book of Moon. Drawing for turn, drawing into the Warrior Lady. Summoning the Volcanic Rocket. Using Rocket's effect here to grab the Blaze Accelerator. And then what we're going to do is use the Blaze Accelerator here, baiting out the Dust Tornado. And then we're going to sink on it, set the Zoma the Spirit, and then attack into the Warrior Lady. Opponent's going to take a couple life points there, Rocket's going to get banished, and then they're going to draw into the Zoma the Spirit, passing turn off to us there. Drawing into the Wildfire, we go ahead and just set Wildfire, summon the Zolga, and then we're going to proceed into battle phase and then attack them directly for 1,700. But they're going to Zoma, but because of our skill at this point, I'm just like, I'm attacking into that Zoma, I'm going to gain that 1,700 life points back anyway. They draw into another Zoma, summons the Exiled Force, utilizing its effect here to pop the Zolga, and then setting the Zoma face down. I'm going to summon my own Zoma here in defense mode, and then I'm going to draw for turn into my Floodgate. Flipping my Zoma to attack mode, summoning my DD Warrior Lady, I'm going to start going aggro, attacking for 1,800, summoning the Zoma to the field. I used the DD Warrior Lady here to banish the targets, but they Book of Moon me. So he's down to 1 card on the field, drawing into the Dust Tornado, switches the Zoma to attack mode. I draw for turn, drawing into the Shell, switching the DD Warrior Lady to attack mode as well, and then going to battle phase and attacking into the Zoma again, bashing both targets, taking a couple of life points, then attacking directly for 1,800. But it's going to get Dust Tornadoed, which is unfortunate. Opponent's going to draw for turn, drawing into a Book of Moon, setting it face down. We draw for turn, drawing into a Warrior Lady, summon the Warrior Lady, and attack directly for 1,500. Opponent's going to take it, not activate the Book of Moon there, which is fine. Drawing to the Floodgate Trap Hole, 1 turn too late. I'm drawing into a Zoma the Spirit though, setting it face down, battling for 15. And at this point, he's not going to want to keep taking damage, so he's going to just set my Warrior Lady face down. Drawing into the Dust Tornado here, he sets it face down. I go ahead and go for my Zoma. and then I draw for turn to the Blaze Accelerator. Dust Tornado is going to pop my Zoma. I'm going to go into battle phase, or flip it face up, and he's going to set it face down. At this point, I'm just like, alright, I'm going to get a monster on the field. So I rise up the Fallen and bring out my Zolga, gain my 1700 life points back, and yeah, he needs to draw something to stop me, or I'm going to keep going aggro on him. Drawing into the Mind Crush, he sets it face down. I draw for turn, drawing into the Volcanic Rocket, summon the Rocket, use the effect, and he just scoops there. Too much, what we did there was we applied pressure because he switched his skill. And because he switched his skill like that, I was just like, oh, because he's not able to continuously draw cards from his deck every time he summons a monster, he's going to eventually run out of resource. So I was just like, as long as I keep applying pressure with my attack monsters, then he's not going to do anything. Also, 1900 attack points in this deck is actually a real big out for this. He doesn't have a single monster in this deck, or trap monster in this deck, that can stop a 1900 beater. His literal out to Volcanic Rocket is his Warrior Ladies, and I'd much rather him banish my Rockets than my Jinzos. So, I set the DD Warrior Lady, set the Zoma, pass turn off to the opponent. Opponent summons his own Warrior Lady, sets a plethora of trap cards, and then a Book of Moon face down. Battles into the Warrior Lady here. We banish both targets, he takes 100 life points, and then we pass on to my turn. Drawing into another Rocket. This is exactly what I wanted here because like 1900 is crazy and he just used the DD Warrior Lady. Obviously he has one in hand, but I didn't know that at the time. So I grab my Accelerator here. I move on into battle phase, and then he's going to Zoma here. I just end phase there. I'm not going to take 1900. It's going to put me in a weird position. They switch their, or they summon their DD Warrior Lady, switch their Zoma to attack mode, and then battle into my Rocket. They're going to take the damage here. I'm going to banish off my Rocket, and then he's going to attack for 1800. But I don't know if I summon, yeah, I do summon the Zoma here. So I summon my Zoma to defense mode, but he's not going to let it slide. Drawing for the DD Warrior Lady, activating the Blaze Accelerator, seeing if he has the Dust Tornado, utilizing the effect of Blaze Accelerator to pop the Zoma, but he just uses the Dust Tornado here to pop the Blaze Accelerator. By the way, if you don't know, you don't have to discard for cost off this. You target the monster as cost. Volcanic Rocket gets normal summoned, utilizing its effect. We're actually going to grab the one from deck and not from grave. Decks in, make us into a better situation. Discarding the Volcanic Shell again to get rid of the Zoma the Spirit. He flips the Zoma face down. We utilize the shell in graveyard, paying 500 life points, bringing a shell to hand. So at this point, we switch our Zoma to attack mode. We don't get a battle phase because of Accelerator, and then we end our turn. Opponent draws into the reinforcements, goes ahead and grabs its Exile Force, which is fine. Summons the Exile Force, using its effect to get rid of the Zoma for whatever reason he thinks that's the problem. Drawing into the third Rocket, I'm like, if I don't win this game, I suck. Like, I have all the cards I need to stop him now. I summon my Warrior Lady, which he floodgates. This was not a purposeful bait. I was just trying to get a card that actually had effect on the field, but he, had the floodgate. Attacking for the 1900, but he, gets to use the Zoma Spirit here to summon it to the field. He gets to draw a card, which is the Amphios, and then it gets set face down. I just attack it. I take the 1900, I drop down to 1600, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, if this is Zoma, I lose. So I'm sitting over here like, oh, I did not think about that. But he summons the Exile Force and pops the Rocket. And I'm like, this isn't Zoma. This isn't Zoma. So I draw for turn, and I'm drawing into the Volcanic Rocket here. I'm sinking, and I'm Foolish Burying the Zolga to the graveyard here, and then summoning the Rocket. I then utilize my Rocket's effect to get my Accelerator from graveyard, and then I'm battle phasing into the Volcanic Rocket here, and then opponent gets to draw off skill and set Swamp Mirror, and then I get to battle into the Amphios for its 1800 defense mode. Drawing into the Dust Tornado, which is fine. They set it face down. I draw for turn into a Volcanic Shell. And then now he has too many spell and trap cards. So I use Rise. Here I just special summon the Zolga to the field in defense mode. I gain my 1700 life points. If this is either of these were the Zoma here, I would lose. So he Swamp Mirrors here, and then I attack into the Swamp Mirror. Obviously. Sets his own Swamp Mirror. And then he draws for turn, drawing into the Amphios, setting it face down. I draw for turn, and I draw into the Jinzo, and I'm like, I'm insane. I tribute my Zolga, I gain my life points back, being, too much. I gain 2,000, putting me at 53, and then he only has trap cards, so I'm insane. But yeah, this is the deck. If you guys are interested in playing it, I highly recommend it. It's my favorite way to play Volcanic right now. Before it was Volcanic Moss, now it's most definitely this deck. But yeah, definitely recommend checking it out. And if you enjoy this type of content, make sure you leave a like. If you like me, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.